Here's one funny thing that you can do in Hearts of Iron 4. If you start the game as Turkey, and if you got Battle for the Bosphorus DLC enabled, then you get access to this colossal focus tree. In total, it has 199 focuses, which I think is a little bit insane. Big portion of them are actually 70-day focuses as well. Anyway, if you work your way down this first massive chunk of focus tree, you have access to 3 focuses right here. If you go for the Ottoman path, you can do Pivot to the Past, which is the least complicated one of these 3. But if you didn't, you can go either for the Continue to Prioritize Balkan Integrity path, or reconfigure Turkish foreign policy. If you choose to reconfigure Turkish foreign policy, you get an access to even bigger slab of focuses. Anyway, if you work your way down this part of the focus tree, you once again have access to 5 mutually exclusive focuses. On the left, you can either join the Allies, while on the right, you can either do the anti-Bolshevik Mediterranean bloc, which will let you create your own communist faction, or you can readdress the Montreux Convention, which will let you join the Comintern, I think. In the middle, you also got the Mediterranean Entente, which Turkey often does, even on historical, which lets them create faction with Italy, and there's also Join the Axis focus, which, well, lets you join the Axis. In order to pull off this goofy thing, you have to go for Join the Axis focus. After this, you have an option between going for Pack for a Long Winter focus or the Tuz Gulu training facility. You have to go for the Tuz Gulu training facility, which actually gives you camelry if you didn't know. Anyway, after this focus, you get the magical focus right here. You can either do Secure the Iraqi Oil or Support the Golden Square. Secure the Iraqi Oil is very simple. You just get an annex war goal in Iraq and then you declare war on them. It's as straightforward as it gets. While the focus on the left is slightly different. You see, if you support the Golden Square, Iraq gets an event, Golden Square Coup. Here they have the first and the second option. If they go for the first option, they're gonna end up in the civil war, fighting against fascists. But if they choose the second option, then they're gonna be couped. They're also going to lose 10% stability, and as you can see, they're just gonna become Al-Mutakhana Iraq. If they choose the coup option, then they're gonna become fascist, and Turkey gets the Iraqi Fascist Prevail event. This enacts guarantee independence with Iraq, and they also become Rice Commissariat of Turkish Empire, as you can see right here. They become the Turkish Iraq. Anyway, in that example, the focus worked as intended, but let's see what happens if it doesn't. You see, this focus has a requirement. You have to be fully independent, and you have to be either fascist or non-aligned. So, what happens if we're non-aligned? Well, once again, we'll be able to join the Axis because there is no requirement. Only thing we have to make sure is that we are independent, not in faction, and also not at war with Germany, and Germany has to exist. After that, we once again have to go for the Tuzgulu training facility, and then we have to finish Support the Golden Square focus. Once again, the Iraqi fascists prevail, which means that the king of Iraq was just overthrown, and now they're fascist. And after this, when you click on this option, they're gonna become your puppet, which means that the king just comes back overnight. Now you might be wondering, what happens if Turkey supports the Golden Square, but Iraq says no? Well, if they say, Mashallah, we will fight for the soul of Iraq against fascism. Well, if Iraq says no, they end up in the civil war. They fight against generic copy of Iraq, which is fascist and which uses generic leader, while Rashid Ali al-Ghaywani stays as the fascist leader of normal Iraq. After this, Turkey gets an event, the Iraqi civil war begins, and then they can click on for now, we sit and wait, which actually guarantees these guys. If the monarchist Iraq wins the civil war, then you get a war goal on them, a puppet war goal, which you can use. Although I don't see why you would do all this just to get a war goal, you could simply have done the other focus. But I guess if Iraq had 500 divisions, you could weaken them by causing the civil war inside of their territory and whatnot. However, if Al-Mutakhana Iraq wins the civil war, then you get the Iraqi Fascists Prevail, which is the exact same event that you would get if they just had a coup. This time, led by Hashemite dynasty, however, without a king. Also, one more thing, if you manage to coup Iraq without a civil war, then both Germany and Italy get this event. The Iraqi fascists seize control in Turkish Iraq. They can either click on the first option, which ruins their reputation between each other. They can click the second option, which guarantees Iraq. Or they can click the third option, they have proven themselves to be Axis worthy, which actually puts them into the Axis. But they become puppet of Turkey anyway, so it doesn't matter. Similar thing happens if Iraq refuses and ends up in the civil war. If the fascists manage to win the civil war, both Italy and Germany will once again get the exact same event. And on the historical, most of the times they pick the second option, which means that they guarantee the Iraq. So yeah, that's about it. That's the funny thing that I wanted to show you. And yeah, see you in the next video, guys. Bye.